So an unknown 3-letter agency thought it was a good idea to give me laser orbs and send me to a sky map. Floating blocks everywhere, lasers firing in every direction, and honestly, what could possibly go wrong? Stick around to find out, and if you enjoy the ride, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know what we should blow up next. Welcome back, all you sleepy faces. We are back at it with coalllc, and we are playing as the Orbs profession in the sky mine map. We have access to these orbs that look like fish eggs, and thank goodness we have access to water so we can do maximum damage. I did test the orbs just before this and noticed that the range on the shoddy egg is not very good, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reach the blocks in the sky, so we're going to have to take advantage of the platforms and the ladders, but this is a challenge I'm willing to face. And I mean, yeah, don't these look like eggs? I mean, even look at that one. That one looks like a fried egg. I'm really excited for this one. We get to utilize all the new stuff, and we have access to Senior Vice President Miners. 200,000 damage. I'm super pumped about that. So let's get started with day one. So, yep, I'm gonna have to jump in order to hit these, but might as well put a platform down and actually do it correct. So I hope you guys are doing well. The time of me recording this, it is the day before Easter. So happy Easter, guys. He is risen, and you know, by the time you see this, yeah, it's going to be well past that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your Easter and that you were able to celebrate everything. And that was way too high. And yeah, that you got to spend time with family and just enjoy everything. And, you know, I love the springtime because it makes outside look like the hills in coalllc, just absolutely green. The clouds just come rolling in hot like they always do and sprinkle rain and storms and tornadoes upon everybody. So you just gotta love that. And so I'm celebrating springtime by going shirtless in coalllc. Just might be a little bit scandalous, but you know, we have this shady green dude with sunglasses here to give us a hard time and kind of judge us a little bit, but we're all about it. Oh, unbelievable. I might be able to get these 3 right here, and they should fall right into the keep off my coal stockpile, hopefully. One more. 7 seconds left, and I'm going to jump to the right. And yeah. Oh yeah, we got it. Nice, nice, nice. 100, 715. That's not the greatest, but it's still pretty decent actually. So we have 29 and 32 of those, so we can get away with not having to buy another one. It sells for 100, so that brings us up to 815, so we can't afford another one, which is crazy, but we can afford the time, which is probably what we'll end up needing in the end, and then we'll buy one to make it an even 30. So let's start day 2 and just keep going at it. So I'm just going to keep going above the stockpile here and just keep chipping away at everything. It's nice that it hits multiple at a time. I think that's what's keeping us going here. You have to constantly, do this? Because it seems like it's pretty finicky on which one it wants to hit and attack. But it seems like we're doing pretty decent. We need 80 coal for our quota, and we have 15 so far, and it's just falling for the most part straight down into the stockpile. So that's the goal, I believe. And we will kind of test things out and see how far away we need to be from the blocks in order to have the most efficient way of mining them. I don't know if the range increases per level up of the orbs, but we're going to find that out and see if that increases the amount of rays that we have too, because eventually, will it do a 360 around me rather than 180 degrees? Or this might be like even 160 degrees. But we're going to find out. Hopefully, not too worried about the vacuum just yet. Try and get closer. Yeah, that's a good hit right there. But today's a pretty rainy day over where I'm at. I have to talk about my weather for you guys real quick. It's a rainy day, and I just love the rainy days in the springtime because of just the life that springs forward afterwards. It's just the grass seems so much greener, and I'm not saying that metaphorically whatsoever. Just saying that absolutely literally. It's just the grass is just so lush and so green, and I like to care for my lawn and everything. I'm not too crazy about it. Like, I put in probably more effort than the average person, just slightly, but not by a whole lot. I appreciate a green lawn, and no lumps in the lawn and no sticks, and just making sure it's a nice little green carpet, especially now that my son is going to want to play outside, and I need to just make sure that it's comfortable for him and taken care of so that he can play outside, and so can the rest of the kids. I'm going to actually go up. We are going to get these emeralds here, hopefully. Or emerald, I should say. So we'll see what else we can get from this. I'm just going to mine up until about probably 7 seconds, jump down, and then gather all the ore that may have fallen to the sides and not fallen into the stockpile. So this is working out pretty good. I'm in, already 1. Nice. Okay. That worked out decently well. 238 coal. Got 1150 on that one, which should get us to the new thing. Let's actually look at the upgrades. Attack all tiles within reach. Deals 15 damage per second to all targets. And then attacks all tiles within reach. Deals 50 damage per second. So we're going from 15 to 50 if we choose that one, which we are. And then let's get more platforms. I wonder if the upgrades in the chests are going to have the range upgrades on the orb. But let's start day 3 and we're about to find out. So let's get straight up from here and go up here, and then this should destroy it pretty quickly. I want to make sure I have a decent path upwards. Okay. So it is more so 180 degrees on this one, but still not the best damage in the world, and still not shooting out as many rays as I was expecting. But, you don't want to assume anything. Like I've said, hit some of those on the left wall too while I'm at it. Get the coal in there and it falls right in just beautifully. Absolutely gorgeous day. And here comes Mr. Smiley Cloud. Hello, mister. Love to see that guy. He's like the ant of the clouds. He's just rolling on by. He's got a personality, he's got friends, which are the more clouds, and he's taking care of everybody and the land. That's what I'm talking about. So for our Easter, my wife and I are hosting at our house, and we're gonna have pretty much everyone on her side of the family over. My family is all the way over in Washington, so they can't really come over, and even if they could, they got some of the health issues, things that I was talking about on the previous episode. If you actually watched that, yeah, they couldn't come over anyways because of them dealing with all of that. But that's all right. It's kind of just the sacrifices that you need to make in order to do what's best for your family as a whole. But still calling them here and there and each day. So it's been really nice. We've been doing it a little bit more often now that things have been going on, but it's been all right. We can actually break these choco blocks. Let's do that and then see what upgrades we can get a hold of, because I am curious. Can't tell. Okay, that's a gold weapon of some sort. So let's actually just shoot straight up. Can't get up there. Let's shoot to the sides. Okay, so I was trying to jump straight up and the recoil was keeping me from going up. So that was very dumb of me, but I never said I was smart. And so was, guys, I don't think these brown eggs are good for my brain. Okay, here we go. So let's just gather all of this and go straight down. And hopefully we'll get down before, if I'm 5 seconds away and I haven't collected anything else, I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, let's just go for it. Not a bad day. We got 800 coal, 940 iron, 2,900 total. Pretty decent. We can get the sapphire orb. That one's 4,000, which would bring us only up to 3,700, which isn't quite good enough, but this does double damage, so that's enough for me to buy. And then I can get the increased inventory, and then maybe I should focus on some vacuum stuff with Tabitha, but let's start day 4. And I did not get any more platforms, so hopefully we don't need them. We should be okay. Someone suggested me opening more chests because, you know, I am pretty bad at doing that. So I'll probably at some point jump over to the right, get that chest so I can get some early on upgrades because those help out so much earlier on. And there's an emerald here, but it's just going to fall right into the stockpile, so rest in peace. But not rest in peace my wallet for the quota. So good. I mean, so far this orb is pretty satisfying. I like the green lasers. That's pretty nice. Fun fact, my favorite color is green, but not quite this color of green. It's more of like a evergreen green, like the evergreen trees. I think that's a nice deep green that's just absolutely gorgeous. My wife and I are thinking about painting our bedroom a little bit darker of a green, and I'm looking forward to that because I have the mindset of having the bedroom be a little bit darker because the darker colors they kind of make you feel a little bit colder or darker and more relaxed. And so that's kind of the vibe I'm trying to go with here. Man, these gray blocks are taking a little bit. What even is that? Oh, it's coal? Man, thankfully that got us our quota. Okay, I'm gonna nuzzle myself in here, and then I'm going to get that chest that's down below. Should be pretty quick and sufficient at this. Maybe get the sapphires there, 7 sapphires, so we'll definitely have enough for Tabitha, my lady Tabitha. And then we'll have the vacuum to play with later on, which is going to be very helpful and nice for us. But just it's kind of nice that I can just stand there and get most of those. So pretty much nothing that deals with the orb, so that's pretty disappointing, but maybe I can find another one that's pretty close to the surface that I can kind of tap into. But let's gather all this and then go see Tabitha. Hopefully she's not afraid of me being shirtless. Hopefully she likes or isn't afraid of my nips. So we can break these pretty easily. This might be annoying to you guys as far as me jumping up and down, gathering it like that, but I mean, I'm trying to save all the money that I can. I don't want to spend $2 on another platform. Gotta get there, gotta get there, gotta get there. Yes. All right, 600 coal, 400 copper, 300 iron. About 3,000 again. That's pretty much what we got last time. But we can sell this for the emerald one, which will do another 50 damage, or we can get more time, which I'm kind of tempted to do that more so. So let's do the more time there, and I guess we'll buy more platforms. Get ourselves up to 33 for some reason, start day 5. Day 5, feeling good, feeling powerful. It would be nice to have the jump velocity up a bit more. It's always nice when that works out. It's always nice when you have upgrades and actually harvest the chests and look for them. So I'll try to do that more so once we get the coal quota, and then see if I can get some more upgrades. Maybe some upgrades for the orb, because I am interested in seeing what those are. I would assume it would be the reach, but I can't confirm nor deny that yet. Maybe I can tap into it there. Bing, laser beam, and jump, and all right. We'll just shoot straight up as best we can. And that wasn't so bad. I don't know what we were expecting with that, but we did it regardless. Okay. So let's just try and gather as much as we can. Maybe I can... You know, the only thing is I can't really aim for anything. Like, I want to get to that chest up above, but I would have to use... I guess I can use ladders. Don't really want ladders that much. And put a platform there and then just fire my way in there. So it does it all the way around, 360. Not just 180, not just 240 or 272. It's all the way around. And of course it's amethyst. Man, guys, we're going to be struggling for upgrades if this is the quality of upgrades we're going to get. Hopefully it's not the case like that forever, but I mean, it doesn't have signs of ending. No emeralds just yet. The only reason why we need emeralds is for Tabitha at this point. But I'm going to try and funnel and dig myself down, and hopefully we will have a good amount of ore that we bring onto the surface here. That's pretty much the goal. And okay, keep going back and forth a little bit. We have 742 of the coal. And let's make sure that we stay up and go back and forth. And okay, we're feeling good, and we lost it. But it should just fall right down anyways. So that's a pretty good pile right there. I'm gonna just go back and forth and try to gather as much as I can of it. 1200 coal quota. That's pretty good. My blue egg here, Tabitha. And the leaves are turning orange. Can you believe that? Can't be turning orange. It's almost springtime. Okay, let's see what we can do to this gray layer right now. It's not a whole lot thus far. We're actually just shooting out our base layer here. So we can't really do anything with that yet. I really need to get it to where I can fly, because we're gonna not have the ability to dig anywhere strategically. So that's gonna be a bit of a struggle, but like I said in the intro, I was looking for a challenge, and I think this is just the challenge that I need and desired, and it'll make things a little bit more interesting. So I always like the Sky Mine map, and the different way you have to play with it it's pretty fun. It kind of just makes it so you're like playing a whole different game. All right. There's a good chunk of emeralds right here though. That would have been nice to get. Gave Tabitha only 2 emeralds. Can I get another? Yes, I can. Not too bad. All right, 2,400 coal that time, 800, 600, 6,000 total. That's pretty great. So we could get the emerald egg or orb, whichever one you prefer. And let's take a look. We could get the... I don't think the jetpack's worth it just yet. We'll get the emerald orb, sell that sucker, and then we'll could get the water gun. Let's get the platforms all filled up, and then the water gun would give us more damage right off the bat. It could honestly be well worth it. And I could also get, so we have 3,800. I could also get a collector or 2 or 3. That way I don't have to worry too much about going back and up and down. And let's go for it. So let's go just straight up. And there's of course a chest right there. So I'm gonna see if I can get some upgrades with that. Maybe it will break the choco block pretty decently. And that was embarrassing, but it broke that. So I'll be able to do it now and go from above, because I don't want to risk falling again and embarrass myself. And it gave us an amethyst. Guys, why can't we just get a regular upgrade? The game dev just gave us too much grace on the last game that, he wants to make it a little bit more of a struggle. He heard the trash can needs more of a challenge, and he's going to give it to us. So let's see if we can get over there. Easy peasy, and it's amethyst. Okay. That's the way it's gonna be, guys. We're here for it, though. You know, if life was easy, everyone would do it, but not everyone does it. So I'm gonna see if I can just break more into the gray layer this time. I think it's gonna be well worth it if we can actually make it through a bit of these ores. And I don't think we'll be able to break into the choco blocks, but we will definitely be able to get some of these and then get our quota pretty easily. Man, the collectors are super slow. It's a bit of a disappointment there. Let's get these a little bit closer. Okay. Maybe we'll be able to get the ore coal blocks there. And then the amethyst, or the sapphire. It's just going to be worth a lot more. It's not really going to help us with the quota much. But we will keep gathering this stuff. And our collectors should help out a bit. We haven't really mined a whole lot to make it so that they are too helpful. But we are collecting a bit of the sapphire. Now, do you guys have any traditions that you do on Easter and stuff? Like Easter egg hunt or anything like that? We never did Easter egg hunts growing up. It was just, yeah, it was just pretty much a thing kids do in my mind and what my dad would tell me. And I was like, man, I want to be a man. I don't want to be a kid. So I would have some sort of a lack of desire to do it. But whenever I hear people do it, or whenever we do it at school and my dad wasn't around to kind of have that opinion with me, I would have a ton of fun looking for the Easter eggs. We would always dye the eggs in school too. That was an interesting thing. I was always afraid of getting my clothes stained and stuff, and then therefore like disappointing my mom because she would have to help clean it up or whatever. I'm gonna see if I can get a block there and then mine everything around me while I am getting rid of that. And orb radius 1%. That's what I'm looking for, guys. We need to increase that. So 1% for the 1% for the clay layer, and I wonder if it's going to be 2% for the gray layer. But we are struggling as far as the coal quota. I need to actually deposit. So there we go. Need to collect more and just gather a bit more so that these guys will go. And I can just get these collected. And then I will go last minute, probably now. Get everything else last minute. This is turning out to be a little bit more calculated than I was expecting. 630, 1100, 800, 200, 200. Man, 5800. That wasn't that great. Was not that great at all. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna try and go straight up and try and get into the gray layer as much as possible. I think the chests in this clay layer are not really helping us too much. 32 of those. I'm going to get the water. I'm going to switch between the water and the orb and just try and focus on that. I don't think we had too much trouble with the collectors. I'm going to do the collector whistle as well, just so we have that in case they aren't collecting everything. So we have water, orb, collector whistle. Any other bonuses? No other bonuses. So feeling decent. Maybe I'll get a few more of these guys and one of those. Why not? So here we go, day 7. So water everything and we will get a platform down and send this down. And I think I want to switch these. Probably keep the whistle there. So keep going up. We're not having too much of a struggle with these layers, so I'm not really going to water them just yet, but I could. It's not that long to do. It does help a lot, so I'll keep doing it. There's no reason not to. Except sometimes my skill doesn't always match how I should be. So water and platform and laser beam. Platform, water, laser beam. Okay, and water and platform and laser beam. Should be 2 times faster through these gray layers now. Through the gray blocks, I should say. So we should get our quota much faster. theoretically. I am going to move up, water, laser beam. Okay, and looking good. 535 of the 1500 coal that we need. Not too shabby. And that, water, laser beam. Just gonna say that each time so I can make sure I'm focused enough to be able to do it. Otherwise, I'll mess it up for sure. I'm not gonna say it every time, guys. That would be so annoying. Oh, we're getting into a good coal vein here soon. That's gonna probably get us our quota there. And just a little bit more, just a little bit more. A little more water, jump, and up. The orb is pretty satisfying, but it's a little bit more idle than I was expecting. But I guess we're not really going for much this round. We're just going for the quota and the money. We really need more money to get the next orb, because I think once we get the next orb, we'll be able to break through this layer a lot easier, and then we'll be able to just skyrocket our revenue quite a bit more. And that's going to help us out a lot. I most recently played there's a free archery game where you're like an archer and you're shooting targets. It's very pixelated. It's a very well done game. I just kind of played that on my own time, and I was just thinking like, man, this is me. This is what I've always talked about, was the archery, me shooting in my backyard and just having fun doing that. It's like, maybe do a video for you guys on that. Just let me know what you think. And yeah, I was pretty happy with it and how I was playing it. I'm actually going to go up one and water these all and then shoot. So we're at 2200 of the coal quota. I think we were making the correct plan as far as doing the water. That's helping us out a ton. We're going to try and get these choco blocks here, and hopefully we can get those and then get an orb radius upgrade, because I think that's going to be one of the better upgrades that we can get, because our damage is okay. It's not the best. I kind of want to get over there now, but I don't trust myself to be able to make that. Okay, orb radius is 2% this time. So let's see if we can get up a little bit further and just keep going. So we're getting close to the blue layer, or the icy blocks, I think is what they call it. And so we'll see at like maybe 10 seconds left. I'll jump down, try and get everything that I have on my person to, oh, I need the, whatever, it's fine. 10 seconds left. And collectors, go. All right, should be pretty great. 2,800, 348. Yeah, decent day. Not that fantastic. 13,000 for the next ore. We're at 10,000. Man, this is kind of a rough day. Pretty rough. I'm tempted to get the rock layers shifted, and then that way we can just go straight into the gray layer and don't have to worry too much about our platforms. Pretty crazy. So let's get the, could get a associate miner, but that's not going to help us out a ton. I think shifting the rock layer might be the best bet. Let's do it. And then I'm going to get more platforms to get us up to the 32, 33 that we always get. And then up and up and up we go. Hopefully this pays off for us. We need 2,200. So I think we'll be able to get it pretty easily, but you never know. I struggle a lot in different things. Just keep everything wet and soft and juicy for me to mine. Just like a big old steak. Just got to keep everything wet. Man, these collectors are super slow though. And then our miner down there, I don't know if he's been doing much at all. He is hitting the blocks for a decent amount, I think. So we're at 158 of the coal quota. Not terribly impressive, actually. We're almost a quarter of the way through the day. So I'm not very ecstatic about that part of it. But maybe once I get into some serious veins here, we'll be able to change that a bit. Kind of figure this out day by day, little by little. So I'm gonna go up a little bit more, water everything, and fire. 362 coal. Go straight up pretty much. And 400, as long as we have at least 1,000 by halfway through the day, I think we'll be pretty decent. But I'm not terribly confident, actually. Maybe my plan of getting the layer shifted was a bad idea. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the collectors are actually just holding on to a bunch of stuff, and that's actually the issue. But I'm going to just see what I can do in this layer rather than just going up and down. See if mining all the way around me will help us out a little bit. And the coal layer up top is kind of where it's at. We're about halfway through the day and significantly worried about our progress right now. But yet again, like I said, some of the collectors haven't gone back yet. Let's actually hit up these coal layers and see if we can change the progression a little bit. So now we're about halfway, and I have a pretty much full inventory of things. So that's promising, but it's still not that great. So just shoot straight up and then maybe hit this coal a little bit, get it all watered up. And this is kind of nerve-wracking, guys. Maybe we'll be able to do it, maybe we won't. Keep everything watered up. Kind of want to blow the whistle and see if they can kind of deposit everything, see where we're actually at. Gather this coal a little bit. So if I were to guess, I probably have like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 350 of my own coal. So it's going to be close, but I think we'll definitely be able to get it. But it's just pretty nerve-wracking. I don't think we have really gotten much else other than the coal. We have 805 gold, so we don't have that much stuff. Just want to make sure that we are maximizing everything that we can. 1800, so we're definitely going to get the quota potentially. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do it last second where I collect it. Do it at about 10 seconds left. Okay. Get them to go back. Maybe they'll get it. I don't think they got it. 2,500 coal, 1,500. Pretty okay day. 10,000. We really need this next orb. 2,000. Okay, we just barely got the next orb. Got us pretty poor, but I mean, as long as we have platforms, we're doing pretty decent. So let's see. We can't afford anything else. We have 4 of these guys, but they're not really doing much. So day 9, let's see what we can do. Wet everything. And now we're doing about 3 times the damage. So we should be able to absolutely blast through this. So 3 times the damage with the 2 times multiplier for the water. So theoretically, we should be able to just kill this layer in absolutely no time whatsoever. So we are going to keep everything watered down, and we're going to just keep on attacking as much as possible. Probably get this coal on the right-hand side just for some extra stuff that they can collect, and just keep going for the money and the coal. I think the chests, I'm not terribly worried about the chests. I'm more worried about the coal quota. But we're almost at halfway already, which is a good sign for us. It's a great sign that we are doing way more damage and we have less to worry about. But I still am a little bit nervous about the coal quota for not necessarily this round, but the following round, because the jump between this cost in layer and the next is significant. So we paid 13,000 for this orb, but the next one's going to cost us way more. But I think if we go to the right hand side, that's going to be our best bet as far as getting coal. I wonder if I get this here. Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake right there. So if I place it down here, I'm mining all the way around me, and hopefully I can get the stuff above me. If I aim it like this, I should be able to get more. Still need more radius is the thing. I'm wondering if this blue block is even worth it. But I should also just drop this stuff so that the collectors just gather it. Would be good for them. So water things down and go for the coal there. I wonder how much it's going to drop. So it definitely did. I mean, I don't know how much that was actually. So it's kind of hard to say. If I'm just doing one right here, I don't know if I should just go for the gray layers right now. Do some water and go for the coal. So we gathered all of it and it was like 3 full stacks maybe. And 26. So I'm pretty sure it's...
What the dog doing?
Like based on the bits, what is our dog doing? So it'd be like 516 or something like that is the amount that we get. But I'm going to just go for the gray layer. Seems to be the best bet for us right now. And keeping the collectors busy. And keeping us busy. Because we're just standing there hoping that the blue blocks will get destroyed. But we're not seeing too much progress on that. Or at least not any constructive progress on it. So we'll keep going for these. And we're at 2,500 of the coal quota, which is pretty decent. But we've collected a little bit of other items, but not a whole lot for the most part. We've just been focusing on coal. So things are a little bit misconstrued. Because it seems like every single time we go to the window that shows us what we actually mined and how much we got for the day, it's a lot less on the iron, copper, and emerald, of course. So it's not as great for us. But we'll just keep going all the way around. It'd be a lot more better if we didn't have to go up. Like I said, this is quite a bit more of a challenge than just going straight down. In my opinion, that is. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. It could be easier, and I'm just even worse when things are easier. But I don't know if that's the case or not. So let's see if I can get another depot. Easy. So 4,000 coal, 2,000, 2,000. We got at least 10,000, I would believe. 17,000. Let's actually look at how much this costs. 40,000. So we can sell this one for 6,660. And on Easter, man. Come on. Let's see. So we still have another day before we're able to do that. But we could get the jetpack and then continue saving up. Or we can get one of these guys. Actually, the jetpack is definitely worth it because we'll be able to jump higher. But it doesn't really matter too much if our orb radius is not very powerful. Let's see. So this guy does 3,000 damage. This guy does 200 damage. We're doing 500 damage per second. Yes, 500 damage per second. And this guy is going to do 200 damage per second. It's not a lot, but it is something. Maybe that guy is worth it if we get one of those. But I can also get the 3,000 per second guy for 10k, which he could be worth it. Let's go for it. And we're going to start day 10. So we are over here coping the best we can with what we got. We have the jetpack, which if I aim straight down, I can just destroy the blocks all the way around. Water, destroy all the way around. And I'm going to place a platform right where I need to be. Oh, and that was pretty decent. The guy on the left he's doing pretty good. Although most of this I'm pretty sure is just us doing damage. So I can't really say he's carrying us right now, and I'm definitely going to put a platform right here so I don't have to just jump a bunch of times. I'm going to put the water down on the left and right so that we get stuff while we're at it. And jump up and miss that completely. Hopefully it was something good. Increase wet damage. Yeah, let's do that. And hit up these along the way. And maybe we'll be able to go right through it. Because I like just being able to jump straight up and not have any sort of parkour to do. Because I'm not the best at parkour, as you guys have seen. 2,000 of the coal quota. It's not the worst. We're doing pretty decent. I think we need to probably try and go for the right-hand side. But I bet the miner can help us out, but only if we had the miner whistle. Okay, 141 coal on that. So let's get this there, and I'm gonna water everything and then kind of blast them. The coal in the blue layers is something I'm interested in. So we're at 2,600 of the coal quota. Probably a lot of that was us mining a bunch of it in the gray layer, and it probably is worth having to focus on that, but we need some sort of progression here. That's significant, because after 5,000 coal, if we can't afford the next orb, we're gonna struggle hard. We're gonna have to focus big time. Probably get a few more of the miners and get them focused up. I need to get our coal quota. I can't just dink around like crazy. So I need to get this quota before I can go for the valuable stuff. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. We'll wet everything and then we'll go for the quota, go for the coal, try and angle the orb in the right way to make it so it hits as much as possible. Our collectors are busy constantly, but they can only hold 64 at a time. So they're just like chunking away at it. They're not really doing a whole lot. We'll do the wet damage here. We need more wet damage constantly. This isn't the best spot to be as far as collecting stuff, but okay, that is a good one. Our goal is to just get the quota. We're at 4,200. We need 700, 650 more, and should be in a good spot here soon. And as long as I just hold it straight up, if I hold it the opposite direction of where I'm mining, it does a pretty decent job of hitting everything, at least around me. So that was pretty nice, getting it over and all down. That way I can actually collect it rather than the collectors, because they are super slow. Okay, so I bet it's going to be 20,000 day. 28,000. So our next coal quota is 8,000. That's going to be a little rough, if I do say so myself. We need that amethyst orb as soon as possible. We are having a hard time getting chests. We're actually not really getting any of them at all. And I'm going to get 32 of these right now. And then the miner whistle. This doesn't really do much. Let's see, 66. That will bring us to 34. We still don't have enough for that. Might be worth getting the miner whistle and then another one of these dudes so that I can control them a little bit better. And then maybe one of these guys, because they do 10 times that. But I can fire each one of these for 2,000 and then fire this one for 5,000. That brings us up to the 32. But then we'll have to collect a whole lot more. So we're at, if I sell this, 34. If I sell the miner, that'll bring us up to 39. Sell 2 of these, that brings us to the 40 number, in which we do 3 times the damage, but we'll have to collect a lot more. And to be quite honest, that's probably worth it. And it does 1,500 damage per second, whereas these guys do 3,000 damage every 0.5 seconds, so 6,000 damage. So it's probably worth it to buy a miner and another one of these guys. Now call me crazy, but I'm going for it. So let's just see what happens, guys. Day 11. So let's go here, water that, and we'll go straight up and water that and keep going. Hoping the miners can do a lot more for me. I just need them to help with this quota because I will be struggling otherwise. It's not going to be pretty. I'm going to have a bad attitude for Easter, and I can't have that. How many of you guys can sing? That's one thing I've never been able to do too well, but I've always been a part of a choir in like every single age of like grade school and stuff. Once I hit middle school, I wasn't a part of a choir anymore, but growing up, I was always part of one, and it was kind of fun. With that, the only reason why I liked it so much was because at the end we all played instruments and like xylophones, and I love playing the xylophones that had the wooden bars and just sounded super cool. I absolutely loved it. So those guys are doing pretty decent work there. I just need them to get way in there. So let's do this, water everything, and there's that chunk of coal right above us that once we get into that, we're gonna be doing well. I'm thinking the miners were the good idea, or the good investment, but we're about to find out, really. Keep watering everything. We're halfway through to the coal quota, so things are looking good. So I am glad that we didn't sell these guys, because there's no way I would have gotten it just with the orb itself. Maybe with the other orb, but definitely not with this one. So keep everything wet and keep every one of these guys working over here. Maybe I should go over to, although to the left there, up here, it's pretty decent. Put one of these down. I'll put it right there. Water this and put them here and have them work on all that. Yes. What? Have them work on all that. Falling for no reason. I'm falling for my miners. Wait, yikes. Never mind. Don't listen to that. But man, look at all those green laser beams. I love it. It's like I'm a DJ for a EDM concert. I know one of you guys is a DJ on your free time. I think that's freaking sweet. It would be something that would be so fun to do, but I feel like you need to have a passion for it, because I think DJing is a little bit more than just playing music here and there. It's like feeling the mood of the room, and if it needs to get picked up and whatnot, then you need to just start playing things a little bit more upbeat and so on and so forth. And I'm just jibber jabbering about things I don't really know much about. So if you're the one that's the DJ, please chime in and let us know what it means to actually be a DJ, because we're all curious, or at least I am. But we hit our coal quota. We're at 10,000. We're almost to 11,000. I'm just curious how much ore and stuff has been missed and fallen not in the correct spot. Just like that coal ore that just went to the right there. So let's see, at probably 13 seconds, I need to go down and take a look. Yeah, there was ore right there. We're at 12,000. Not too bad. Oh, I think I got that. 8,000 copper, 12,000. Oh, this was a great day. Hit that 40K? 59K. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what really makes me happy here. The fried egg here is 5,000 damage for 132K. So we'll do the amethyst orb there, sell the silver orb. We're going to be doing about 3 times more exactly damage, and then probably need to start working on the chests. But is it any fun getting the chests, guys? I need to get one of the senior collectors here. Maybe, quite honestly, 2 senior collectors, but it would also be really nice to get another miner, and maybe we get one of those guys, and now we're feeling pretty good. So let's start day 12 and see what we can do. And just like that, it's a terrible day. Okay. So we're going to focus a little bit more on our miners. So I'm going to say screw it to the amethyst orb, and we're going to go right for the miners. The miners and one of these guys, 2 of these guys, and 1 more of the miners, because that was crap. I was not able to do that. So let's get more platforms here, and I got infinity ladders for some reason. I don't want those, but let's just go for this and see what happens. Actually, we have 5 associate miners, so let's get straight up, and we'll hit that up, and we'll just go straight up, and it is a gold weapon of some sort. It's the gold wand, which isn't that great, but we are going to hit it up anyways, because hopefully that will get us somewhat close to our quota. We can hit that up and get the water gun out, get the laser beam. Actually, we're only doing the miners there. That's going to be our main source. Guys, We're kind of special. Okay. Need to put that down apparently. And get down. Okay. We'll do the employee collector speed. Could have done miner speed, but not too interested in that. And just go straight up. Okay, water everything. Orb, not interested. 6,000 of the 12,000 coal quota. We're doing a lot better than previously. Let's get everything all wet. And then get these guys over here. I'm gonna feel more confident going for the chests when the coal quota is done. But when you have a diamond minigun, it doesn't really matter. Okay. That wasn't half bad. Let's see. Let's do the collector speed, 6%. And then we'll do the orb radius. We're at 13,000 of the coal quota. So we're just going to keep everything watered down and try and do this as efficiently as possible. Hopefully you guys aren't getting triggered by it, but if you are, suck it up. You know, I have to deal with this kind of skill level every single day. Can you imagine? So you guys can suck it up for 2 hours. You guys ever watch Chris Farley's movies? He's that chubby guy that did Tommy Boy. The dude was absolutely hilarious. He's like mine and my dad's kind of humor, where it's kind of stupid humor, but I love it. It's so funny. Okay, let's get that and more orb radius. So our orb radius is getting pretty decently sized, but it's too bad the orb is, I'm kind of pushing it away at this moment, just kind of focusing on the miners at this point, just because I'm having a hard time with the damage that it's bringing forward. I want to change where this is. There, that's much better. But it's just because I didn't really get many chests. And I say that every single time, every single episode, you know, I would do better if I got more chests. I would do better if I got more chests. But you know, it's kind of hard when you're trying to min-max everything. And just trying to do your best to make as much money as possible. So we definitely have way more everything that's just lying on the ground. So probably is worth going for collecting these things. So it's just raining ore on the right hand side. Hey guys. Okay, I'm gonna try and collect a lot more stuff. Okay, let's see. We got all this stuff and we're already there. Already filled up. Okay, we're at 23,000. Come on, don't choke. Don't choke. We'll just collect this stuff. It's also very valuable. 3, 2, 1. We got it. That was pretty valuable day. 50,000 in just coal and copper. 25,000 in silver. Silver, my baby. Let's see. We could get the gold orb or we can get the miners. That's a tough decision. We're definitely going to get that one stack there. I think we are going to, that's 10 times the damage there in 0.1 seconds faster. So it's just a little bit more better. But we weren't really struggling with the miners as much. We were on the collectors. But if I get more of these senior collectors, maybe that will help out. So we'll get one of the vice president miners so we can just mine straight up. And then it will fall straight down theoretically. And then I could get the wings and then just go straight down. But we're going to get 2 of those. Might as well get one more and another one. Shout out to whoever that guy is, that rapper. Day 13, let's go. So we're just kind of speed running this moment. Try and blast them all. Let's see if we can get going and get the miners just straight up. Do want to get some more of these chests, like I said. Do the collector speed so that they can keep up with this a little bit better. Go for the watering there. Orb, how are you doing? Yeah, it's kind of cope there. Let's wet it and then have those guys go for it. And we missed it. We definitely need to have a platform another platform somewhere. Not right there. Okay, let's do this a little bit better. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So I'll wet everything and then I'll orb it. So it's open on the right hand side. Get that chest and it's diamonds. Yippee. We're at 5,000 of the coal quota. And just mine straight up. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do. And we will be happy doing it. You will own nothing and be happy, is what they're telling me. But I'm not sure if I believe them. Okay, we'll just shoot our orb and just kind of see if we can get the collectors to keep up. You know, the miners have been absolutely just dominating. And we'll probably be able to... Yeah, I need to just go for more chests. Been kind of a sad show in the chest world. This is Monday chest day, right? Back when I was working out, I did not hold to the Monday chest day thing. My workout was like, or my workout routine was work out 4 days a week. We'll do the minor damage. Work out 4 days a week, and I would do 1 day chest, 1 day arms, 1 day back, 1 day legs. And it worked out really well for me, actually. I was pretty successful with the results I was getting. Oh, I was hoping to get 1 hit in the red layer. That's all right. But yeah, I was doing pretty decent with all that routine there. But because it's work out 4 days, so I would work out 1 day, take the other day off. So I'd work out every other day. And every once in a while, the chest day would line up to where it would be on a Monday. And so everyone is using the chests, like the bench and the smith's machine, and man, it would be pretty rough trying to get a workout in. And I used to have really long workouts. I would work out like maybe 2 to 2.5 hours, and I would really kill it. And it'd be really tough to get a workout in that's that long and intense when everyone else around you is using the same machines as you. So eventually I did elect to get a home workout. Oh yeah, let's go. Can I do the red layer? You think it's gonna burn the red layer, guys? That was pretty fantastic. And the orb damage, we'll do collector capacity so that we get more of the ore that we just burnt up right there. Let's dig a hole straight down. Get that, collector capacity. Probably need collector speed at some point too. But we'll go to the right and get this chest as well. We've been pretty lucky as far as the gold weapons, but not so much with the upgrades. So we have wet damage. It's probably going to be universally helpful. And we'll try and see if we can break down this and get these to all over. Just go straight down and hopefully collect all this. That might be cope, but yeah, it's pretty far away. Yeah, there's no way. But 42,000 in coal alone isn't too bad. 22,000 copper, 40,000 in diamonds. I didn't know, man, they were worth that much. We'll take it. Oh, we can unlock one of the vice president miners. 200,000 damage every 0.35 seconds. These are the miners that I was missing. So we have access to the gold orb, but if we're talking 200,000 damage with the miners, why wouldn't we do that? Although how much is this? 75,000. So we can afford 1 vice president miner, senior vice president miner that is. Love that guy. And then we'll shift the rock layers so that we are only going into the blue layer. And then we'll do platforms so that we keep going straight up only. I don't want to mess with anything as far as collection and stuff. So let's probably should get 1 more of those, but the water gun might also be very helpful, but we're talking 200,000. So let's just get one of those and then we'll start day 14. So we're talking serious damage now. We should probably be able to hit up the red layer now. So let's try and see if we can do that this time around. Be really nice if we could kind of jump up and then leave them up there. It's my strategy. And then try and jump up there, water, and whistle. See if I can get this chest here pretty easily. Wet damage, absolutely. Universally fantastic. These guys are killing the red layer right now. So we should probably get over on the left-hand side, get everything all wet, and then make sure that it falls straight down, because you don't want it to get stuck on anything, especially if the collectors are having a hard time with everything. So let's wet this, and then collectors unite. So we're at pretty much 10,000 already, and let's see if that falls straight into it. Yeah, it looked like it did. So let's get them up there. We just gotta manage them well. We gotta keep them universally just straight up rather than around town. We don't want them to be like SpongeBob, bringing it around town. But at this point, this orb doesn't hardly do a thing. So once we get the coal quota, I am actually going to go around and collect the red chests, because I think they will be able to. I'm not even able to jump that high. So I'm going to get the red chests once we get the coal quota. And then once we have that all set in stone, then there we go with the coal quota there. Then we'll be able to kind of skyrocket our upgrades and figure out what we're going to do from there. Because I'm tired of not having a powerful anything, really. Just having a standard game. I'm pretty done with that. I want it to be unique. I want to make this pretty weird. We'll do collector speed, because these guys need to be sprinting all over the place. So yeah, we were able to mine through that very quickly. So we should definitely be looking for the chests in the red layer. It's just, it would be very dumb for us not to. Now let me just look out a little bit longer, further out. So we'll go for this one, and then we'll go back up a bit and see what we can glean. Keep watering everything. So we have the minor damage, which is going to be super helpful. Right now we have very few of those upgrades. I would be interested in getting more orb upgrades, but can't really find those at this point. I would love for the orb to be the most powerful thing. And we'll keep going over to the chests. Now, okay, 20% damage for that. That's pretty good. That'll be pretty good once we actually start using it. But I mean, we have the best miners in the game for this guy, this profession, so it's going to be very tempting for us to just stick with miners and just blast through the layers. But I mean, look at our quota right now. We're at 62,000 coal, and it's just so diabolical. So let's keep going for these, and hopefully we'll be able to do some magic with this. Get the water out, and then just keep going. Oh, flamethrower. I mean, it's kind of useless because our collectors can't keep up with anything. But we can probably make it so that they do it closer. Get all the collectors back. I mean, we broke a ton of stuff, but they couldn't collect hardly any of it. 200,000, 461,000. So that would bring us up to the ruby orb, which does 15,000 per second to all targets, which is nowhere near the 200,000 for the senior vice president collector or miner. We'll do one of those guys, and then we'll do another one. And then do we do another one because we were so far ahead? So that'd be 50,000, 100. So we would need 100 or 250,000 for that. So we need, okay, that wasn't so bad. So this is day 15. We're definitely going to be able to do this, I think. Let's start it up. Okay, so let's just start up with this and wet it up and get them going. I'm actually going to switch the platform in that so that I'm not jumping too. Then it was so helpful getting the the chests, I believe. Man, I'm not the best at putting these platforms down. I mean, I don't really mind it. It's just, you know, it's a little weird on the placing location, but it's pretty sticky as far as where they go and whatnot. But, you know, it's my fault. It's not the dev's fault, really. So we should, I mean, I'm going to pretend like the orb does something here. Let me just pretend like it multiplies the ore as it falls through. That would be a decent upgrade. What if you were to place like a platform like this? You place it across like this, and all the ore that falls through it doubles the amount. That could add some variety in there. What do you guys think about that? Just let me know. That could add some pretty decent variety to this. It'd be also interesting to, if they added that mechanic to it and then made it so that you can only mine with like drills and stuff, or collectors that are like, I don't know, like these, and when they pass through it, it doubles it or whatever. Just making it so that it's like mechanical only in a way, even though these guys aren't robotic, but the drill and stuff would be, that would be a unique concept. But I mean, the dropper things where it passes through wouldn't really help too much, especially if the collectors are just collecting everything from the get-go. Wouldn't really do much for anyone. I'm wondering if the miners can break through these blocks easily. I mean, I know my orb can't do much to it, that's for sure, but I can pretend. We're at 58,000 of the coal quota out of 40,000. We're doing pretty decent, but you know, we're doing our best. But if you guys have made it this far, we've made it to day 15. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know, if you enjoy what you're watching here, you know, I like to hear the comments that you guys make. Just let me know what you like, and let me know what you don't like as well. I appreciate the criticism, and my goal is to just make these videos as enjoyable for you guys as possible. And I won't know how to do that unless you guys tell me. So please don't feel bad if you feel like you're criticizing me, because I'm just trying to be my best as far as for you guys, and there's only one way to do it. And knowledge is part of that. So thank you guys for those that do speak your mind and are trying to actually truly help me. So one of the things I am trying to do is save up for a new mic right now. I mean, I'm not making any money on YouTube at all, but I am thinking about doing a Streamlab type thing to where I am saving up for it and kind of contributing to it. And if I do get to that and I get my goal of it, I will definitely do a shout out to those that help get me there. But I really appreciate you guys even just watching it. You don't need to, I just want to stress this enough, thankfully the Lord has blessed me with a job that I enjoy working with the people directly around me, and I make okay money to be able to take care of my family. And so I'm very blessed on that. It's just like in all of this, all I truly desire is to create content for you guys so that, maybe you have something extra to look forward to, just to come in and hang out with us, leave some comments and some encouragement. Hopefully you leave more encouraged in life than before the video. 712,000, and we're naked. What happened to our clothes? That's awesome. We actually killed it. Winner. But 15 days isn't good enough. We are gonna go for, I'm gonna buy the diamond orb once we get there, or do I do the pink diamond orb? I'll probably do the pink diamond orb once we get there. But in the meantime, I'm gonna sell the basic water gun and get the powerful water gun. And then, oh, that hoverboard is looking mighty tasty right now. It is so worth it. It's not even funny. So let's get another presidential miner and then we'll get another fast collector. I don't know what it was like with the collectors at that point, but we are going to sell all of our platforms and then we're going to sell all of our ladders. And then go to the inventory here. We still have what looks like a shoddy orb, but it's the silver one. But we're going day 16. So thank goodness we have the hoverboard. And I love how he gives I love how he gives the dog the hoverboard as well. That makes it so much better. All right, orb damage or collector speed? We probably need collector speed at this point. Just to keep things a little bit more consistent. That does a lot of area. Pretty decent, man. All right, collector speed. Absolutely. We'll hit up this one. All right, minor damage, minor speed. We'll do the minor damage. Take a look out here because we're going to be going for the chests and the diamonds. Diamonds are worth a ton. I do kind of feel bad for the collectors because they are not getting the most work done. Maybe they will... what was that? Pink diamonds, maybe? Why am I feeling bad for a program, you know? It's kind of weird. Feeling bad for a simulation. But I was thinking about sprucing up the banner for the YouTube page. Just trying to make it a little bit more of an inviting atmosphere there. And then also probably sprucing up the logo a little bit. It's a little bit hand-drawn, which is what I was going for, but I mean, I don't know how professional it actually looks. Just want your guys, give me some of your guys' input, and, you know, I'll be interested in hearing what you have to say, and so forth. Let's see, 81,000 of the 80,000 coal quota. We're doing pretty decent. And we're not even halfway through the day, so I'm thinking we're gonna have like $1 million day. It's gonna be really nice. Get the water down on it, get going. Also, I've been kind of playing around with the schedule of, well, we'll do the orb radius, 4% for the orb radius. I want massive radius for the orb. I want to be able to hit a ton of area. Okay. Just go all the way around, kind of. Throwback to the wand. 20,000, 20%, not 20,000. 20% damage increase. We're just trying to do our best for the future us. Let's see if we can get a better chance at the orbs. Kind of disappointed in the damage of the orbs, but I mean, he's doing his best to balance it all. And he might adjust it later on, but you just don't know. But that's a pretty decent radius so far. It doesn't quite hit that one, but it hits pretty much all the rest. So I look forward to a better radius than that. Not really getting close to all that, so it's not worth my time going through that. We need more miners. But out of the tank profession or the orb profession, which one is your guys' favorite so far? And which one's your favorite to watch and which one's your favorite to play? For those that do actually play the game. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. I had a lot of fun playing the tank profession. Or the Russian profession. I don't remember what it was. Combined arms. So that was a lot of fun. Enjoyed the video. Loved my thumbnail. I was so proud of that. And super happy with pretty much all of the videos I've made so far. I'm learning a ton, and you know, that's just pretty much what it's all about, is get the guys back. It's gonna be way slow. Yeah, I didn't send them back soon enough, but 1/4 mil coal, 1/4 mil silver, $1 million day, 1.6 mil. Okay, we're getting close to affording this. That's a huge jump, 15,000 to 100,000. We can shift the layers again. I mean, we have the hoverboard, so it doesn't really matter too much, But what matters is the fact that our collectors would be able to get there and back faster, but we can get one more. Let's get the rest of these guys. So we have 5 total senior vice president miners, and then let's get some of these guys, and then we'll get one more senior vice president miner, and then one of these guys. What about bonuses? What are we looking at? Unlock item filter. I'm not really collecting anything, so it doesn't matter. Does that work for... Does not affect employees or vacuum. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. So we have miner damage 22%, miner speed 5%, collector speed 32, wet damage 10, 13% radius, which is pretty insignificant at this point. So we'll start day 17 and see how much what we just did affects the game. But we are going to go for these miner damage. That was a diamond there. Orb damage. We are going to go just straight up from the stockpile there. Even though we're pretty confident our collectors will be able to keep up this time. 4% orb radius. The 4% is actually pretty darn good. It's a lot. 4% in this kind of, like, early on like this it's pretty significant. I'm just interested in seeing what it's going to get like later on, like day like 30, if we make it that far. I don't really plan on going that far, but you never know. So let's see the kind of damage that we can do. Hoping that did enough damage for us. Yeah, we have a ton of stuff on the ground. We'll do collector capacity so that they can keep up. And then let's see if we can break this up. I was unable to before, but they're able to break this emerald block pretty quickly. I'm pretty pleased with that. I want to drop just about everything I have. Don't want much. And just get going with it. Have the collectors be able to get all that crap. And pretend like I'm doing something with the orb. That's the goal. That silver is going to be worth a ton. So we're at 200,000 of the 120,000 that we need. That's pretty great. That is really great. I am curious how much progress we have. Not very much. So honestly, I should probably just hold off for a second. Get the red layer chests and just continue on with that. I want to be absolutely ridiculous. It was something with the Whack-A-Monster game that I did, the video. And if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. I did that for some indie devs, and I'm pretty pumped for the game. It was pretty fun. A little grindy at the end there because of the way the demo is. It has a lot of the upgrades still unlocked. Nothing was blocked off. I'm sure they didn't add a few things in there for certain reasons, because they didn't want to show everything that they had to offer. Oh, minigun. Get that opened up. And get this opened up. And get this opened up. That was pretty huge. And we'll do minor damage. But I feel like that's what you want in your game, essentially, is you don't want to show everyone what the game is all about in the demo. You want to give them, like, the best parts of it, which is pretty much for any game. If the progression at the beginning sucks for your game, like, you're not going to make it. But if it's nice and even and feels good to the player, like, then that's going to hook players for sure. And I think this game, the Whack-A-Monster game, was like in between. It wasn't bad as far as the beginning gameplay, and it wasn't like outstanding, but like I like the idea of it. It kind of reminded me of the dice game in which you're hovering over things. Like, you hover over the mice for the dice game that I played, and then in the Whack-A-Monster, you're hovering over the monsters in order to whack them and kill them. And yeah, it was a unique experience. I would definitely give it a try, the demo a try. Was pretty pleased, and yeah, I'm always happy to play the indie games from small developers, and happy to give them a platform. Just because, only if I truly think that the game looks fun. Because like I did get a request to play a game for, we'll do the wet damage. Play like the devilish game, and I think the Marquise, I don't know how to say his name. He played that game, and I just wasn't really interested in the concept of it, because, you know, I'm not too interested in devilish types of stuff. The only time I am is when just the numbers became 666, because it just makes things ridiculously ridiculous. 730,000 coal, 680. This is a great day. 3 mil, 4 mil, 5.5. That's huge. So we can get the diamond orb, but we are waiting until the pink diamond orb, so we don't waste our money there. So let's get this. We are getting to the point where we can afford multiple. That hurts a little bit, but it doesn't hurt a lot. Let's try for 10. That should bring us to about halfway. Okay, that brought us down a lot further than I thought. But we can just go forward with this and do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. And then eventually we'll shift the rock layer, and then we'll have the pink diamond orb. So let's keep going. Keep collecting chests, because that's going to help us out a ton. And not if we get the just gems and ores and stuff, though. Damage orb. We're going to have a pretty decent orb once we get the pink diamond orb, so I just want to make sure that it's as powerful as possible. They'll get the wet speed, or wet damage, the wet speed. What does that mean? Get the wet speed. Kind of go around and wet everything. Figure out where some more chests are. There's some chests in there, but I think they're going to be busy over there for a minute. Do the orb radius. I really want the radius to be absolutely ridiculous. And pink diamonds. It's decent, but it's not anything to be too excited about. Absolutely killing the red layer right now. And the collectors are keeping up, which is a little bit of a problem for me. Minigun. How does it break that? Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. We'll do collector capacity. Keep them busy and keep them maximum efficiency. Keep going back and forth, zigzag, trying to get as much damage as possible to the most amount of area possible. Orb radius. Orb radius. Now we're looking pretty decent. Have a few chests here. Pink diamonds, not interested. More pink diamonds, now I'm interested. Orb damage. We're going to be pretty decent for the orb damage. Minor speed, minor damage. Oh, there's a chest, don't want to miss that. More pink diamonds. Pink diamonds are good, you know, especially at this point in time, like we're getting... Oh, flamethrower. Okay, let's see what it does to this layer here. My guess is it doesn't do too much. Okay, let's just keep going with this. Yeah, my guess is it doesn't do too much. I want to just do orb radius at this point. I know I did orb damage the one before, but if I'm not, like, expanding my radius, then I'm not really doing much. And we'll do minor damage. Keep doing the minor damage so that we are super powerful and nothing can stop us. We'll do the wet damage because that's pretty universal. Feeling really powerful right now. We're kind of getting to the point where we are snowballing a bit. Like with the miners and everything, the collectors are doing a decent job collecting everything. We are to the point where they can't really keep up with us though. And, you know, that's not really anything to get concerned about though. Because we're leaving behind millions of ore. And we're focusing on the upgrades for the orb because we want to see it just demolish everything. We want to see it hit every block on the screen at once. I want it to be so satisfying when we actually start using it. It's going to be so satisfying. All the 4% here and there. Collector capacity. I mean, don't get me wrong, the miners are pretty satisfying, but it's still very fun to use the weapon that you were meant to, like the tank on the previous one. The tank was super satisfying to use. It was something about the splash radius of it and the AoE of it was just so fun to play. More orb damage. We're feeling pretty good about our damage here and the radius. I'm sure we've increased the radius like 10 times this round. And we got the minigun. Not too interested in the minigun. We're at 1.5 mil of the coal quota out of a quarter mil, so we are significantly above that. And I can't imagine what kind of ore is down on the ground and the collectors are not able to get it. Get those diamonds right there, even though it doesn't matter too much. And we'll do orb damage there. See how many chests we can hit up before the end of the day here. Nothing there. Get this chest. Oh, pink diamonds. Can we get this one? Nah, we can't. There's no way. 1.3 million copper. Almost 2 million of iron. This is like a 15 mil day. Well, almost. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do the pink diamond orb. We're going to sell that one. So now we definitely have a fish egg there. And then we had so much stuff on the ground. We really need to get more collectors so that we don't have that issue again, because that was a pretty big problem. I don't like having waste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wasn't so bad. Start day 19. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty satisfying. Let me zoom in a little bit. It does a decent job in the red layer. How about with it when everything's wet? Pretty decent. The radius is still pretty lackluster. Still kind of disappointed in that. I mean, it does decent damage to the Choco blocks, so I'm happy with that, but as far as the difference between the orb and the miners, it's pretty significant. Like, we're talking night and day here. This is instant damage versus the just waiting for it to happen. Orb radius, we're talking 4% at a time. Orb damage, we're at 85% orb radius, so almost double. And the orb damage is 3 times. So that's the good part about it. But the bad part is the orb radius at the current moment. We're going to try to do better. But I think we're already at the coal quota. So we're doing really well for that. Orb radius there. So we are already probably up about 20% this round so far. Day 19, I'm not sure how it's going to work out for us. Let's see, employee capacity there. Let's hit this up. Yeah, let's not do that. Oh man, I want the upgrades. I don't want the guns or anything at the current moment. Could have used that at the beginning of the game, but not this time around. Orb radius, absolutely. Okay, keep going. Keep on grinding. Let's not do that. Orb radius and orb damage. Orb radius and minor damage. And orb damage here. Feeling pretty good. Feeling really good about everything, actually. Because now we're fairly... I was going to say we're fairly balanced, but we're kind of just in the coasting stage. Like everything's snowballing right now. We can get more and more miners each day. Like close to triple the miners each day. But I mean, I'm just wanting the orb to do so well that it might be my downfall, actually. No, there's no downfall from here. If I really want to at the end, I'm going to try the orb. And if it doesn't do it for me, then I'm just going to mine with the miners for like 5 seconds and then I'll get the quota. That's how much confidence I have in it. I do want to try the gray layers again. Try and see if I can get the miners to mine through it pretty nicely. Because if I were to be a betting man, I would bet that the dark gray layer orb radius increase is probably 5%. And I bet the damage increase is like 25. I know at some point it skyrockets up. Wet damage 25%. I can't remember if that's this layer it skyrockets up or if it's next layer it skyrockets. But we're about to find out. Miner speed, collector capacity is at 50% increase for that. So I'm not too sure about that one. Pink diamonds are going to be worth a ton. The collectors are just kind of grab and go at the current moment. They don't have enough capacity and I just don't have enough of them to increase things correctly. So wet damage. Another 25%. That should be noticeable. Because I don't think I've gotten enough of those to make it to where it would be unnoticeable. Like my numbers for that aren't that great. We'll do the collector capacity so that we can get more stuff back. We're at 2.5 mil out of 600,000. So we're feeling pretty powerful. And let's see. Orb damage goes up to 125%, so it's 5 times better. So if I guess it's going to be, what, 20% orb radius? 25%. That's pretty satisfying. That should be noticeable. So now I'm just waiting for the spinal at this point. Can I get this chest as well? Please? Please? And it's wet damage. So we still just absolutely outmined our collectors. We need double the collectors versus our miners, I think. 20 mil. We probably had 20 mil on the ground there. So we are a ton away from that. We need to shift the lock layers. That's ridiculous. Need to shift the rock layers. So let's get 50 of these guys. 5 mil, 7 mil. And then let's get probably, 30. I know you might be thinking, hey, didn't you just say you were going to double your collectors? And I am, but I also more than doubled the miners. It's simple economics, guys. Always outdo your production so you have no idea what to do with the access that you have. Start day 20. Okay, so we're starting with the red layer. I kind of want to go straight for the dark layer. Okay, I can't waste my time with the gold weapon there. So let's water everything. We're feeling good. Water damage. We're going to have the coal quota in about 5 seconds here. All right, let's see. Collector speed. That's going to be huge. That's another thing that we need to get more often. Collector speed, another 50%. I think that's what's also prohibiting us from getting everything. It's not just the collector amount, it's also just the upgrades I have for the collectors. It's just not the best, you know? I just have a hard time focusing on it. Minor damage, 50%. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at what this upgrade is. And it is minor damage. Our collectors are doing a decent job keeping up, so we're gonna try and do our collectors and our orb. Hopefully we can do more of our orb. And get through. And get through. Orb radius there. Absolutely. Let's see. Orb damage, 125%. That's pretty huge. I need the next water gun, actually. I think there's 2 more water gun upgrades that I'm missing out on. We'll do the wet damage there. The wet damage is going to help us with the orb a bit once we actually use it. And we'll do the collector capacity, speed, not the capacity, and minor damage. So there is a newspaper / catalog that advertises businesses and stuff in my area. And they do this thing where if you find a mistake in one of the ads, then they'll send a free dinner to you or something. But you can only win once every 3 months. So my wife and I always once we see it, we alternate who wins it. So like, it comes out once a month. So 1 month I will go and I will send them an email saying I found a spelling mistake, and you got to tell them which page it's on. And no, when it's easiest when there's a ton of Amish people in your area. And nothing against the Amish, but you know, just sometimes they are busy, too busy to work, or too busy working than looking at their spelling on how they spell commercial or concrete or various words, where they just, you know, they overlook it and that's it. You know, it's not because they're dumb, it's just because, you know, they're busy doing other things. But let's do collector capacity. But anyways, I always love when we get the little newspaper advertisement thing, because I understand why they do that thing where they do give you a free dinner if you look at or if you find a grammar mistake. It forces you to look at every single ad very carefully, and when people do that, then they kind of give up, but they've looked at a ton of ads and they kind of want to buy stuff through that. But not me. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to spending money, so I'm not the person that they're advertising that to. I'm the person that takes advantage of that, because so far, we've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I find a spelling mistake every single time I get the advertisement. So I get a free dinner for myself, and then I get a free dinner for my wife. And it's only a $15 value each. But I mean, that's $30 every 3 months. And if you really boil it down, that's like, after 10 years, that's like $1,500 to $2,000 worth of free dinners that I didn't have to pay for, and that they did. So, who's the winner? I think it's me. The only way they win is if I end up paying for anything in there. But they're winning regardless, because the advertisement companies are paying them for it. And, you know, I bet they actually, when they do get the emails saying that they have a spelling mistake, I bet they do charge for telling them that they have a mistake. All right, let's take a look. We got $763 million. We did absolutely fantastic on that time. So we'll be able to get the spinal orb, but I'm not sure it's going to be worth it. But that's 25 million versus 250,000. So that's over 100 times more. So let's sell that. Let's get the spinal orb there. And then we could just go straight for the layer, the gray layer. But we could also get like 100 of these guys. Let's see. Can I get 100 actually? Yeah, we can. Get more collectors too. The collectors are very important as well. All right, so there we have it. We have 364 of these vice president or senior vice president miners. I keep saying it wrong. And 286 lightning collectors. Let's start day 21. And we have the new orb. So we're feeling pretty powerful actually. And this isn't half bad. And more orb radius upgrade. That's what I'm talking about. So we're at about there for our radius. It's still not good enough for me, guys. I'm probably going to get the miners up into this area so that they can work on these upgrades. And then I'm going to kind of focus on this gray layer here, because we're kind of smoking through it quite a bit. Easy peasy. I haven't got as many orb upgrades in this dark gray layer as I was hoping for. But, I mean, we've upgraded our miners, our collectors significantly. I mean, look at that. We have 50 million of our coal quota so far out of 1.7 mil. And that is fantastic. I want to get these chests here, get the collector capacity, get over here. And I am curious if they did get the... Wait, I am curious how well I'm able to destroy this layer. I bet I would destroy it pretty quickly if I had the water down. Oh yeah. That's crazy damage there. So we are a huge problem now. Goodness gracious. So they have to have gotten through there. Yep, they did. And orb damage, 180%. That's pretty darn good. And we'll just keep grinding like this. There's no way we won't be able to just absolutely demolish everything now. Especially if I keep things watered. I just want to make sure that I'm able to hit all of the blocks and stuff. We'll do the collector speed. And keep everything watered. And get them all consolidated in this spot so that they focus on the chest there. Our collectors just absolutely wreck everything. They're collecting just about everything super quickly. We want to do the collector capacity because we are breaking a whole new level here as far as damage and the ability to mine through everything. The orb is super satisfying now. Very pleased with that. I just need more radius. And it would be a little bit more satisfying if the orb did damage like right away. Because it seems like it does take a second for it to kick in. But we're at 500 million. We're going to reach the billion for sure. Maybe even 10 billion. Maybe that's a little bit ambitious. I don't know. Let's take a look. Collector capacities, decent. Let's try and find some chests to go for. Looks like to the left here, there's a ton of chests. I'm interested in those more so. Okay, let's get the orb going. It's looking really nice. I think I can break through these choco blocks all by myself very easily. Orb radius, 36%. That's a decent upgrade, actually. And minor damage, pretty decent. I want to get all three of these at once. Would be so sick to be able to be in the middle, like right here, and be able to hit all 5 of these. That would be so crazy. So get that wet over there. Whoops. Brought those guys over for just about no reason, but that's okay. Collector capacity. And orb damage, 180%. Another massive increase in damage. Orb damage. So this is a really good day for the orb. 860 million ore. And the radius is quite great. But hopefully we can get this upgrade, perhaps. Okay, orb radius, another 36%. Massive increase. Almost a billion iron. 1.4 billion of the amethyst. Crazy. So our next orb is going to be 6.6 to the 12, and that does 2.5 to the 11, which I think is, what, 225 billion perhaps damage. So we're going to shift the rock layer down, and then we are going to go for 500. See what that does for the miners. Absolutely nothing. So we're going to do 1,000 and see what that does for the collectors, which does absolutely nothing. So we're going to do 5,000, a little bit more, but not anything to go home about. And we're just going to do 10,000 until it kind of goes away. So we have 41,864 and 31,286. And with that, we're left with 51 million. So let's take a look. I do want to get the more powerful water gun. So let's get the ungodly water gun. And then we can't afford anything else. So let's go start day 22. So we're feeling a lot better with everything, really. So we want the collector speed. We are super powerful. Orb damage, we'll take it all. We have so many miners, we can't even really see the damage that's being done. But I think we're still mining a lot slower than the orb itself. Let me try this for a little bit. Yeah, I'm thinking that's actually the miners doing damage. The orb radius, 36%. That's pretty significant. Yeah, the miners are outdoing us a little bit here, but we'll keep on going. keep trying the upgrades for the orb, if we can help it. And we'll get wet damage there. See if we can get more chests here. And wet damage. Keep going with the water. It's like they all gather and then just demolish everything. We're already at 8.5 billion coal of our quota, which is crazy amount. Oh, we can get this over here. Is this my fastest sprint speed? Goodness gracious, that's super slow. There are these chests. I can try and get some from these. All we got to do is look at it. Increase player sprint speed. Yeah, that's what we want. That way we can move a lot faster. At least a lot faster in the black layer. I don't know about the green layer as much. We're still struggling to move and mine these choco blocks. We're really doing well with the water damage and the miner damage and the orb damage, to be honest. We're getting a lot of 180% increased damage, but we're not getting the radius increase, which is what I actually want. Because I mean, that looks great and all, but it's not quite what I want. I want it to be ridiculous. I mean, the laser does a pretty good job against the choco blocks, that is. So I'll let them just grind up there. I will just go for this. And we are halfway through the day. We got 1.7 to the 10, which is pretty great. 36% more radius and more wet damage. And we'll pretend like we need that. The miners over here, we don't. But we won't tell them that. Our radius is looking really good. It's an interesting statement to say. Our radius is looking good. I'll say that about you guys. Your guys' radius is looking pretty good. So let's see. We have the spinal one right now, and we're hardly getting any upgrades for the radius. I mean, 36% here and there is, I mean, that's nothing to cry home about, but, you know, we're able to break these down quite a bit and pretty quickly, a lot faster than our miners, and that kind of surprises me a little bit. Oh man, we hardly have any damage for the green layer. And miner speed, why not? You can go through this pretty quickly. Wet damage, keep on the wet damage. And capacity there. Orb radius, 25%. I feel like the more we churn through this layer, the better, because we're actually getting them here and there. And it's 25% versus 36, so it's what we're missing out on 11% if we don't get the yellow one. But I mean, we're having a hard time even getting radius upgrades in the uranium layer, so it doesn't really matter too much. Getting a ton of wet damage upgrades. Collector capacity and orb damage. What's our orb damage at? Orb damage at 3,400, radius at 451. Orb radius 25. Make that 76. Minor damage. Orb damage. We'll just keep going on the orb upgrades, because our orb damage is pretty significant. Orb radius another 25%. Orb damage. We'll send those guys back just in case they're holding on to a lot of stuff. They could be. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll do the collector capacity. And that's probably going to be it. Not a bad day. We got tons of to the 10. We definitely have 11. E to the 11. 3.9 E to the 11. That's what I'm talking about. So we're waiting for 6.6 to the 12 for that. So I'm not ready to get rid of the black layer yet. So I think we're just going to go for these guys. We're going to go for 100,000 and see if that does anything for us. Okay, it was, what, 3... So let's do 500,000. That should hit us pretty hard. A little bit. All right, we still have 2.6 to the 10. Maybe if I bump it down to 100,000. Okay, yep, made it a little more reasonable. We're left with 16 million. Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Okay, let's go start day 23. It's here for day 23. Okay, these guys are going to be insanely powerful now. But we're not going to be able to see them much. So if I just gather them all up around me, should be good. And if I just mine all the way around this layer, I should expose all of the chests and I don't have to worry about stopping and remining everything. That was really getting to me a little bit. I do just want my orb to be absolutely insane. And by insane, I mean just ridiculously far radius and power. There's tons of chests right there. I think I'm gonna go, and I was going to go back, yeah, here. So I'll have the guys stop right here, and then I'm going to get the rest of these orb damage and not have you guys be paying through it. Although it could be satisfying for you guys. 36%. Minor damage. Orb. 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 We are getting a ton of upgrades here. This is going to be so good for us. We're going to absolutely kill this. I am going to be so curious what the radius is going to look like after this, because we're getting so many of the radiuses thus far. Just keep them coming. I don't want anything else. Just keep on the radius. I've gotten at least 10 of the radius ones, I think, or I'm just coping so hard. We'll do the minor speed, minor damage. That radius is looking good. Damage and minor damage. Orb damage, minor damage, radius, damage, damage, radius, damage. Oh yeah, this is so good. So good. It's just ridiculous. What do you think of all this, Tabitha? Probably weren't expecting some crazy guy with a rock to destroy the entire sky, pretty much. Let's see what the 2 times damage looks like for this. It looks like we are breaking blocks, so that's pretty exciting. Feeling pretty good about that, actually. We did expose this here for extra radius and more orb damage. Make everything wet if it can shoot it up high enough. And collector speed. Alright. Let's actually get all of the miners over here. Okay, so we can mine right through the orange layer. So that's pretty awesome. Let's try and do exactly what we did this last time, which was just mining through all of the chests and making sure that we just get them all. So we'll do the collector speed, 98% collector speed. Orb radius, 50% pretty much. That is a massive increase. Collector capacity, I think we're mining through the purple layer even. Definitely mining through the purple layer. Increase the wet damage because that's going to help us get through it. Man, I wonder what a purple chest is like. And capacity. We are getting all this stuff, but at what cost? Gotta make sure that we wet everything constantly. Day 23. Bet you guys didn't expect us to make it after we failed so hard at the beginning. Or after how much we were struggling, that is. Look at that radius. Still not terribly pleased about that. I think it could be so much better. I need to be able to just zoom out completely and not be able to see where the lasers end. 4.6, that's what I'm talking about. We got to the uranium orb, so that is a ton of more damage. I'm not going to do the math at this point. It's just not worth it. So let's also shift the layers a little bit. That hardly dented our cash. Let's do 1 million and see how much that damages us. We're at 3.954. Yeah, not even close. So we'll go for 10 million. Maybe that will change a little bit, just a teensy bit. Let's do 100 million. And that was a lot. I don't know what our balance is a little bit off, I think. Let's do 20 million. So it'll be 10 times what we had. And we're almost there. One more, probably. And we're feeling pretty good. Let's go. We have 112 million of these miners and 62 million of the collectors. Start day 24. I feel like we're at a pretty decent spot, actually. How well can this thing just churn through everything? Not even close. It's killing everything. Purple layer, do you stand a chance? Yeah, it does a little bit. But not until I get a bunch of these upgrades. We'll do, let's see what we have. Orb radius 1230, 6800 damage. Is that 240 damage? That's pretty insane. It's just raining materials. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just make sure that we keep everything wet so that we blast through the layers and get the collector capacity. I think the 320% orb damage, that's huge. Oh, there was an orb radius on that one. I completely lost that. Yeah, I think there's a maximum speed in which the collectors could be 64%. Sheesh. So it's like after a certain point, it's like, why bother, you know? Orb damage, and minor damage. It's just like the minor speed is pretty useful at this point in time. Orb damage. We need orb radius. I don't know why we keep doing that. Okay. Trying to like look as fast as I possibly can and make the decision as fast as possible without it being a dumb decision. The wet damage upgrades are pretty good. 49% orb radius though, that's hard to beat. Orb damage as well. We're at 3.5 E to the 13, which is pretty great. But part of me believes that's just not quite good enough. Orb damage, orb radius, minor damage, absolute killer. Maybe we'll be able to get that one chest in the weird gray layer. Do minor damage there, and orb damage. How's my orb against the weird greenish gray, chromatic gray, whatever color that is? How about our radius? That's not half bad. Much better like this. This is pretty crazy. That is so good. Can't hardly see because it's just a solid green line. You can't see me anymore. Okay. Enough playing around, man. Minor speed. Not like that did anything. Orb radius. Wet damage. Orb radius. Got like the eyes for orb radius now. I'm gonna see it in my sleep. Oh, and if you're listening to this right now and you're asleep or almost asleep, I wish you a good night. And I hope you sleep tight. 36% orb radius. Minor damage. Should be able to just fly through these, right? Heck yes, I can. Should be able to do that in the pink layer. Not so much. But I can if it's wet. So let's get all this wet and then do this. Absolutely demolish. And collector capacity is pretty huge. Let's look at this. Do all that and then get in the middle and then boom. Oh, that is satisfying. Goodness gracious. Well, that was pretty crazy. I could just sit here and let it work, let it happen. I really want the next moonstone orb. But I think I need to really get into the next layer in order to get it. I really have to focus hard on the miners. Let's see if we can get this. Any chance? Probably not. That's okay though. We have a few 14s in there. Well, we need a 16. We need 2.6 to the 16 perhaps. What was it? Oh, 6.6 to the 17. Oh man. And we just hit 14. That's gonna hit us harder than I thought, actually. Let's do, what is that? 10 million? That's not enough. We need that. Oh, so we only doubled it. We need more than that. Gosh, that's so many. It's hardly even doing anything. So let's do another one of these. And then we're gonna do the rest of the miners, but it's gonna be significantly more. And we're gonna sell a ton of these and then buy as many as we can. Wait, did we? Yeah, we hardly even dented that. So 2 billion for all of it, but let's do that and then confirm all of those. So 3 point whatever, that's 500 million. Let's see if we can get away with 100 million, 100 million. And I'm just going to sell the rest of these because I don't want them. I don't want to have to deal with them. I don't want to have to deal with any more thinking. That should get us through the next couple layers. Day 25. Laser beam them. So I feel like the speed actually helps the miners in the sky mine map more than the ground layer or the ground map, because they're flying pretty fast. Maybe I do miner speed rather than orb radius. Miner damage, orb damage, for sure. We'll do the orb damage some more. Can't ever have too much orb damage, because we had a ton already. We were at like 6,800 and 1,200 radius. Now we're at 2,200 radius and 12,000 damage. Crazy. Crazy numbers we're reaching. Still doesn't do a whole lot to the pink layer, but I do want this to go absolutely nuts. I want nothing more and nothing less than to be able to sit right here and have it go. Now that's pretty satisfying right there. That is pretty satisfying. That's why I wake up in the morning right there. So get some minor speed upgrades just so we get something a little crazy perhaps. Minor speed, collector speed, collector speed. They're already super fast, so I'm not expecting too much from them. And collector speed. Going to blast this all with water because they'll eventually break through a ton. And minor damage, orb damage, absolutely. I feel like we have such high numbers for minor damage that we break through the blocks so easily, and then that's it. They get to the point where they are not a part of the wet layers anymore. Okay, we'll do collector capacity. Orb radius 81%. That's pretty decent. But we'll make sure that we wet everything still. Orb radius 81%. And what is our water damage at? 1,679, so we're doing way more as a boost. Goodness gracious. We'll do the minor speed, because why not? Have them fly all over the place. Be my guest. Orb damage 400%. What, the previous layer had 320%? So this is pretty much a full-time job looking after these guys, making sure that all of this is watered up. So we're at 1.379 to the 15. Not too shabby. I don't know if I've ever made it past the yellow layer. I don't know if we're going to get to it or if I will just do a little bonus thing where I get past it real quick. Maybe a little montage. We'll see. We'll see what we have time for. I don't want this episode to be ridiculously long. Orb damage, absolutely. What's the radius look like now? It's gonna say a better look absolutely insane. I'd say that looks decent, but it's not hitting every block, you know? I feel like it should hit every block in the area. I'm disappointed. I can still see the skateboard of my character. There we go. That's a good look right there. That's your boy. Okay, let's do orb radius. And let's see, minor speed. Doesn't do a whole lot for us, but we're still going for it. Orb radius. And hit up a few more chests before the end of the day. And minor damage. Have the collectors go back. And I was slacking there for a minute, putting water down, so things slowed down significantly. But I think we're going to get to the 16, but I'm pretty sure we needed to the 17. Oh, we had one to the 17. What have you done? Shirtless dude. Disgusting. I think I'm going to see if I can get past the next orb here. Just so we know what it looks like, okay, guys? So bear with me here. I am going to get way more of these miners, though. That's going to help us out a ton. So we have 3.75. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A ton. And we're barely scratching the surface here. So we need to do to the 11, actually. 14, 15, 16, 16. Let's get one of those for the collectors. And that feels pretty decent. And we'll just keep going with the miners. Though, yeah, we need to do miners more so than the collectors. And then I'm going to bring it back down to the 10, but make this a 5. And now I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go. Okay. The miners were too good. Get them all up here. I need them. Wet damage. We need to get to the next layer. Orb damage. I need to see what the upgrades are for the next layer. Do collector capacity. That way we don't have to keep upgrading them. Wet damage, absolutely. Okay, now we're hitting the yellow layer. I'm going to hit it with the water and see if we can actually do some numbers to this. Looks like we're breaking it. Okay, those are about to actually skyrocket our numbers. We went from like to the 15 to the 16. Oh yeah, we're about to hit 17. I don't know. Are we even breaking that? Yeah, we're getting close to breaking whatever that is right there. Not quite sure what it is though. Okay, just make sure that everything's all watered for them. Hose my guys off because they're working hard. It is kind of convenient though, a shirtless dude spraying these dudes with water. It's kind of weird. So we're at 2.8 to the 17. We're definitely going to get that new orb. Want to maximize the cash that I get so I can get the new orb and then I can essentially get double or triple the amount of miners because we increase our amount significantly every single time. I mean, this does a lot of damage, but it's only, what, 250 million or something like that, or 25 million or 2.5 billion. I don't know. So it is breaking these layers, but it's just not enough for the yellow layer, which my miners shouldn't be able to mine more than I can, right? That seems wrong. Where's my mouse? Oh yeah, we got some exposed chests over here. Wait, what? I guess it's just me. Anyways, hopefully we break through some more of the chests there and we can get those. They seem to be taking their time with these layers, but let me just pretend to help them. That was me. I destroyed that. Orb radius 100%. So we're talking 3,431, 15,000, pretty much 16,000 orb damage. That is crazy good. Things have slowed down a little bit with these layers. I think they're just probably too spread out. Let's consolidate. Keep it all watered. Now we're talking. Giddy up. I want to expose that. And 100% radius. Boom. So we got to the 18 on this one. That's pretty great. I think by day 30 I'll be able to get the black one. I don't even remember what it's called. Onyx. I wish I could skip through this. We got tons to the 18. Probably got to 19. To the 20 moonstone orb. So we're talking 2.5 to the 16 versus 2.5 to the 11. We are going to rock all of the layers. This is going to be disgusting, guys. It's going to be biblical. So first things first, though, let's not ruin things for ourselves. And let's get... Okay, that did nothing. That did nothing, guys. We'll do to the 13. Make sure this doesn't kill us if I go slow. Yeah, that hardly did anything. That's such an increase though. That is crazy. Can I afford to the 14? What if I do to the 14, but then I make this a 2? Okay, that's pretty sketch, but we'll do the rest minors there, and it's pretty... Okay, yeah, we did that pretty fine. Okay, let's start day 27. Let's go straight up. New orb, let's go. Blasting through this layer. We're kind of lagging, but that's what we do. That's why we're here. We're here for the lag. Orb radius and minor damage. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of slightly annoyed about the orb not being that great. And it's not like I didn't do much for the upgrades, because, you know, the radius is pretty great. But I just don't think the damage is there. Minor damage just overdoes it completely. I mean, the minor speed, 500%. How am I supposed to compete with that, you know? Orb damage. I mean, the orb damage is hardly anything. Even if it's not the orb radius or the orb damage, I couldn't care less about grabbing the upgrade. So I'm just going to spam through them. I do care about the wet damage, though. Talk about lag. Goodness gracious. Orb radius there. We're at to the 19 right now. We could get more if we just focused up a little bit. There's so many chests to upgrade. It's too crazy not to. What is this layer? It's brown. Oh wait, I think I have been past the yellow layer. I think I went past it when I did the poison one. And then like after this brown layer is a blue layer. That's pretty weird. Orb damage, I'm pumping up 500 each. And the radius is 100% each. It's not like those are small numbers at all. Okay, let's hit this with water. And then let's see if we can break these. Wet damage, another 100%. Collector capacity. I'm just touching these with water and they're instantly just getting destroyed. I actually think we might have destroyed one of the choco blocks for the brown layer. Nope, we didn't. Okay, I'm wrong. This is pretty laggy though right now. Might need to decrease the number of guys I'm looking at. Maybe get them all on one spot and then maybe they'll be able to destroy this. Maybe they won't. Let's take a look at how far the thing reaches. It's not that far, but 6.095 to the 19. I'm not sure I'm the happiest about that. Well, we're gonna reach 22 maybe, or 21, just barely. That wasn't much better than the last time though. It's honestly almost worse. I will get that to the 25. All right, it's day 29. We're gonna go to day 30. And I just got enough to get the Onyx Orb. So we're going to be doing 2.5 to the 24 damage per second versus 2.5 to the 16. So let's see what kind of damage this does to the blocks. We made it to the blue blocks, which they're absolutely insane. Let's just buy everything for fun, except for the wings because they suck. And let's start fresh from 0 and we'll go 1. What is that? 12? Okay, we need at least... I'd say we need at least 20. Let's see what kind of damage this does. A little bit of damage, but let's do 21 and then we'll go this route. That was quite a bit more. So let's just keep going down this way. And that leaves us 6, that to the 20. Let's bring it over and then down a little bit. Sell all that. We'll max it out, confirm. And then we'll bring it maxed and then do that, and then we'll max it out, confirm, and then we'll just sell the rest because I can't be bothered. Cannot be bothered. Let's start day 30. Okay, so let's see. Let me show you guys what this is gonna do for us. Actually, I'm gonna use this. Onyx beam, let's go. Look at those numbers at the top there in the inventory. That's what I'm talking about. This better be able to destroy the blue layer. Otherwise, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. And we are lagging so hard. Oh man, it's so bad. RIP. Please fund my new PC. I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, let's see if we can consolidate all the miners to one spot. And then I'm going to put water down. Then we'll see if that does something. I do see some chips in the blocks there. Actually, that's kind of crazy. Do capacity and orb radius. So let's go do damage ourselves. This isn't so bad. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's pretty nice that we're getting something out of this, but I'm not terribly impressed. I want to see the laser beams all the way around me. Because we currently have 10,400 radius and 41,000 damage. So this is what it looks like. Pretty crazy, but not that crazy actually. It's gonna make the collectors go around me like a little ritual or something. It's kind of weird. Now, when is it gonna stop? You can see those guys over there to the left still chugging along. I wonder if they've broken that little layer first, or the first couple blocks. I bet by the time I'm done with this, they'll have a good portion of the chunk done. Hopefully. I think I'll see it in the progress on the right for the coal quota. That's like my one disappointment with this, is it doesn't hit every single block. It hits like every 5 or so. Or it has like a maximum number of laser beams that come out of it. I'm disappointed with that. What if there's like a chain lightning on top of this to where it hit all these blocks and then there was chain lightning attached to each one too? That'd be crazy. Can't hardly see this guy's face. Oh, that's so bright. This is a pretty crazy game, actually. I've really enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun. And it's starting to slow down a little bit here. It's like I'm unable to mine the blue blocks above. So the circle is so big, it's not even rendering anymore. So it's not even in the chunk that the guy programmed in for performance reasons. So I'd say that's a pretty big success. Let's go back to our miners over here and see if they can mine any blue blocks. Are you winning, son? Looks like they're close. We'll see if we can actually help them. Looks like they're going to break this block right here, but it's kind of a regular block. Got some copper there that's going to go insane. Oh, and some coal over there on the left-hand side, right over here. I wonder how much each one of those is worth. Now, I think this blue layer is one that I've never been through, and I think I'd like to see beyond it, actually. And I think the only way to get through it is via miners. Okay, we got 25 from one hit there. That was pretty much it. Oh, we got 28 from the copper alone. Sheesh. So how much is that worth for these guys? I want to do 1, 2, 3, bring that all the way to where it'll show numbers, and then do 23 and see what kind of damage this does. That was too much? Huh, that was too much. Okay, we just halved our income right there. So we'll do, okay, that does a bit of damage. So let's do 5, a little bit more, and we're feeling good. Let's start with that, and then let's see what we can, if we can break the blue blocks or not. We practically only doubled, I think. No, I think we times 10'd our damage, actually. That's a little bit of a mistake. I don't really feel like going for more chests. It's kind of a chore. I'm just trying to have fun before I go to bed. So now we're here, and I gotta wet everything. And it looks like we're getting into it. I get to see what the next layer looks like, guys. It's exciting. Can't imagine we were able to collect a lot of the ore that was dropped from the blue layer, but we definitely got 31 at least. That's cute. 231. Absolutely. Okay, that's all. Day 32. Let's go. Hopefully it doesn't lag us out. We need 1.92 e to the 11, and we got e to the 30 on the last day. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. And slowly but surely, going to the top, to the blue layer, and beyond. Okay, that's quite a bit faster. Still not super fast, but, you know, we're doing our best here. They're doing their best here. There's like a bajillion miners, so can't even really see all of them. We're about to get 31, e to the 31 now. What is beyond the blue layer? Is there beyond the blue layer? Some of you are going to say, yeah, you've been beyond the blue layer before. But I don't think so. At least I haven't in a video yet. And this is just going to be a little bit of a bonus little time for us. Just time for us to talk about our feelings and our hopes and dreams. Just kidding. Blue layer is still going. But I was pretty happy with this most recent update with the tank and the orb. It was just so much fun. So much more added. I think there's a lot of potential for a lot more ideas. I feel like I'm pretty decent at brainstorming ideas. Not the best at implementing them, but pretty darn good at brainstorming. Being ambitious. So we're still going with the blue layer. Still a little bit too much, perhaps. Not enough collectors, too many miners. Can't really see any other layers, so I'm fairly confident in saying that this might be the last layer. But part of me wants to believe that there is something beyond this blue ocean. This ocean of blue blocks and ore, and something wants me to believe it might just be my cope. My desire to explore the unknown. 1.57 e to the 32. Like, how many collectors do we need in order to get them all to do better? What, one of the blocks from this gives like to the 28, e to the 28. At least that was copper. I don't even know what coal does. Just disgusting amount. And we're so far up in the sky. It's so crazy. Starting to think that there's nothing up here. This is what hell is like. It's a hope that there is a new layer, but there isn't. You'll just keep going, and there is not. So there is no hope. There's false hope. But I am interested in seeing what our total amount is for the end of the day. We got the Onyx Orb. It's pretty disappointing, actually. Doesn't hardly do much damage to this layer, especially. And yeah, I was pretty pleased to get it, though. I don't know. Maybe we got to the 33. Maybe we surprised ourselves. Yeah, 3.5 to the 33. That's not too bad. So I'm pretty sure... Wait, let me do it. I'll grab one of those. Just everything. Have one of each of the eggs. Grab a fried egg. And there we go. We officially bought everything in the game. We 100% coalllc. Except we didn't buy every single one of these because we can't. If you've made it this far, congrats, man, or lady. There's like one woman that watches this. But anyways, if you like the trash that you just saw, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any tips or tricks of how I can improve the quality of the videos, or if you want me to play a game or anything, just let me know, leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time.